What's up, guys? I'm Chris Spags here, back with another Four Corners video for today's 12-game MLB main slate, courtesy of Osmo.com. Now, it's looking like a tough slate today, one in which you're going to have to watch all the weather issues as we get closer to lock. But right now, like this video and comment your two teammates you think will hit a home run today. Two guys on the same roster you think will be going for a home run today. If you do that, I will give you nothing today, but I will announce the results of yesterday's contest at the end of the video. So right now, like the video and comment your two teammates will hit a home run today down below. The first corner I'm going to hit on today are the top pitchers on today's slate, and Chris Sale going against the Kansas City Royals is going to be the number one owned guy industry-wide. Gets 3.4 implied runs against him, which is tied for a slate low. As I mentioned, he'll be the expected number one owned pitcher on DraftKings with 42% and 20% on FanDuel, while he'll be number 3 on Yahoo at 29%. Sale's strikeout stuff has been there with a 14.5% swing strike rate and 12.9 Ks per nine, while his less desirable 3.8% home run rate should be helped out by Kansas City's park, which limits power on the year. I like Sale. I think the price works, so I'm willing to match the field on him again, even though the top pitchers have been really frustrating to have on your team recently. If you want to get underneath them a little bit, I get it. Probably not as inclined to leverage against them because I do think Sale has enough stuff to limit the damage well enough, but I would be more inclined to go to Sale than not, and I'm willing to match the field on him, but that's probably about the maximum for me. Jimmy Nelson going against Miami also gets 3.4 implied runs going against him, which is also tied for the slate low. He's going to be the number one owned guy on Yahoo at 41%, but will also be decently owned everywhere. Nelson returns after 2 years out of the majors with a shoulder injury, and he's looked solid in 5 AAA games with 10.9 Ks per nine, and he's going against the Miami team, which strikes out 24.7% of the time versus right-hand pitching. The big game versus Miami yesterday versus Chase Anderson seems like a decent time to go to Nelson at a very reasonable price. He's going to be owned today, but the strikeout stuff has been there. The fact that Miami hasn't seen him in the majors should help him out a little bit here as well. I don't mind Nelson today because he's cheap enough to get there. The strikeout stuff has been there for him historically in the majors and in the minors this year. And Yu Darvish going against Colorado should also be popular today with 3.6 implied runs against him. He's the number 2 owned guy on DraftKings. It'll be solidly owned on Yahoo due to his reasonable price. Darvish continues to strike guys out at a good clip with 10.8 Ks per nine, but his lefty struggles can be a problem with 9.7 hits per nine and a 4.8% home run rate allowed, compared to 6.6 hits per nine and a more reasonable 3.3% home run rate allowed to righties. Darvish is a guy who gives up production, but the strikeouts have been there for him. I think he works as an SP2. I don't mind him there because he has a strikeout upside, but still a lot of risk here because he does give up home run power in Colorado. Even when out of Colorado, do have some guys who have some power to take him out of the park. The next corner I want to hit on are the top stacks on the slate. The Milwaukee stack going against Sandy Alcantara looks interesting today. They get 5.6 implied runs in their favor, which is a slate high, and the high prices may help lower ownership with Alcantara's poor 5.3 xFIP and a 5.8 K per nine showing decent opportunity for Milwaukee at home. Alcantara is worse versus lefties, so it's an interesting spot to pay up for Christian Yelich or to go down for a very low price Travis Shaw, who's been awful in 2019, but has a 121 WRC plus and a 5.9% home run rate versus right-hand pitching going back to last year. I think Milwaukee's an interesting team here. They have a ton of power always. They are at their home park, and Alcantara is a guy who's giving up some production, but especially to lefties, so I might favor the lefties in the stack, and I think a mini stack of lefties may be the most interesting move to make. A Tampa Bay stack versus Spencer Turnbull should have some ownership on them with 5.2 implied runs in their favor. Tampa Bay has a 341 on-base percentage and a 115 WRC plus, and now they're in a positive hitting park, so that could mean some solid production for them. Turnbull has limited power decently with a 2.1% home run rate on the year, but struggles some versus lefties with a 9.5 hits per nine and 6.5 Ks per nine number compared to 7.3 hits per nine, 10.4 Ks per nine versus righties. The guys can get on base for Tampa Bay, and I think that could cause issues for Turnbull here. I would favor the lefties because there are some noticeable splits favoring them, but overall I think Turnbull seems like a guy who could be due for some negative regression, especially if the Rays can keep the pressure on with getting guys on base. And a Yankee stack versus Trent Thornton looks interesting today with 4.9 implied runs in their favor. There's a lot of power for the Yankees with a 4.3% aggregate home run rate versus right-hand pitching, and now they're going into league's top home run park in Toronto. Thornton allows more power to lefties with a 5.1% home run rate and 41% hard contact allowed, compared to an under-league average 2.5% home run rate and 35% hard contact allowed versus righties. So Aaron Hicks here may be the most appealing option as a one-off or parts of mini stacks. I think the team may be a little bit over-owned collectively as a full stack, but I think mini stacks here are going to give you some of the potential here for power. I think that's really what you're looking for in this matchup. On to our next corner, the lower owned options on today's slate, and Charlie Morton going against Detroit is one of those guys. He gets 3.8 implied runs against him. Morton's high price should keep ownership down, but he does bring an 11.1 K per nine and 12.6% swing strike rate number to Detroit, who has a 27% K rate versus right-hand pitching. I think Chris Sale's at a better price with better stuff, but if he falters as many top pitchers have recently as we've talked about, Morton could be an interesting far lower owned pivot. I think the strikeout matchup is there for Morton. I think the price is a little bit high, but again, if Sale falters or some of these other 10K plus guys falter, maybe Morton's the last man standing in the spot here versus Detroit, who's really not that great versus right-hand pitching. A Boston stack versus Jacob Junis also looks appealing as a low-owned option today with 5.1 implied runs in their favor. The prices are down for guys like Betts and Martinez, despite Junis allowing 42% hard contact on the year. It's tough for me to justify the cost for higher-priced guys like Rafael Devers or Xander Bogaerts, given that Betts and Martinez are cheaper, but many stacks here could be interesting given some of the relative value on Boston with Junis' many struggles. I think Boston's in a nice spot here. They are in a park that limits home run power, so maybe that's going to hurt them a little bit, but overall overall, they're giving a lot of park factors that favor hitting besides home runs. I think the spot here is a good one for Boston, but again, I think I would favor the mini stacks, and I probably wouldn't want to pay for Devers or Bogarts. An Angel stack versus Daniel Megden also looks interesting with 4.6 implied runs in their favor, and Megden's got a 7.4% swing strike rate and 47% hard contact, which should cause 0 home runs allowed on the year to negatively regress. The Angel Stadium remains a top 5 home run park, while Tommy La Stella, Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani, and Cole Calhoun are all over a 3.7% home run rate versus right-hand pitching. The Angels are decently priced in a park that does allow some decent power here, while Megden seems like he's really due to give up some more power than he has on the year. Again, 0 home runs allowed. It doesn't seem like that's right for Megden. I think the spot here is a nice one to go to the Angels, even though the Vegas total isn't the best one on the board. And we're dumpster diving a bit here for Anthony DeSclafani going against the St. Louis Cardinals. He gets 5.2 implied runs against him, which is obviously not great. And DeSclafani's been brutal versus lefties with a 1.6 whip and 6.4 xFIP, but a righty-heavy St. Louis lineup can help out with his 1.1 whip and 8.6 Ks per 9 versus righties. DeSclafani's price is down, and while he's no great pitcher, he does seem like a viable price pivot to a much more highly owned Yu Darvish on SB2 sites if you were to falter. Talked about the struggles of Yu Darvish in terms of giving up home runs. He does have better strikeout stuff than DeSclafani, but if DeSclafani limits production in a pitching-friendly park, I think it's a spot here where he could be a nice pivot to Yu if Yu is highly owned today. Now on to our last corner, the one-offs, and JD Martinez going against Jacob Junis is one that interests me today. Price is down for JD despite a 274 ISO and a 5.8% home run rate versus Junis, who allows a 4.5% home run rate and 40% hard contact to righties. Again, the price is reasonable for JD, and I like the spot for him. Even though he's in a park that does limit home runs, he's got a ton of power, so it really won't matter that much, especially against Junis, who's just giving up a ton of hard contact. Tyler Austin versus Jason Vargas is also a one-off that interests me today, with Austin hitting lefties well with a 318 ISO and an 8.1% home run rate, while Vargas can't miss bats with a 7.2% swing strike rate and 44.4% hard contact allowed. Austin's a guy with pure power, whereas Vargas doesn't miss bats and gives up a lot of hard contact. It's kind of a perfect matchup for Austin here, even though he's a guy who's not going to be terribly highly owned today. And Shohei Ohtani versus Daniel Megden is also one off that interests me, mostly because of the price here. Ohtani's power has been down post-injury this year with a 130 ISO, but Megden allows 44.3% hard contact to lefties and is entirely unable to miss bats with a 7.6% swing strike rate and 20% chase rate that are both near or at slate lows. Again, Megden's a guy who hasn't been good on the year. He seems like he's due to give up some more production up. Ohtani's maybe a bit hurt still with that elbow issue. The power maybe not be there as much, but I think the spot versus Megden is one where he could still knock it out of the park. So there are my thoughts on today's slate. And again, keep a close eye on the weather, because right now there are quite a few games that have some red issues on the weather sites that you would check for this. So I'd watch that as we get closer to lock. But right now, like this video, comment for me your 2 teammates you think at a home run today. The support means a lot. I've been doing really good views on these videos, a lot of good engagement from you guys, a lot of good interaction. We're building a little community here day by day. So keep it going, help me out, like the video, and comment your 2 teammates that hit a home run today down below. As for yesterday's contest where we were giving away a free month of Osmo Plus, we did have 4 guys who had a double dong yesterday: Francisco Lindor, Franmil Reyes, Jay Bruce, and Pedro Severino. And with all of the guesses, we had over 100 comments on the video. Unfortunately, nobody got it right. You guys have done it before, so I'm sorry. We won't be giving away that free month now, but there will be another double dong contest coming up soon. I'll give you guys another shot, but we don't give up participation medals here on the Four Corners. It's all about success. So just let's keep it going. We'll keep the guesses going. We'll give you more chances to win that Osmo membership coming up soon. But the good news is there's another way you can get a free month of Osmo.com, a premium membership, an Osmo Plus membership, the best premium plus membership you can find in the DFS world. You go to the @Osmo_com Twitter right now. There's a pinned tweet on there. If you guess the total points that the Warriors scored tonight in Game 3 of the NBA Finals, you'll be entered to win that free month, actually 3 free months of an Osmo Plus membership. So go check that out. That's even more free months than you could have gotten for the Double Dong contest. And of course, I will give you another chance to win one in this video coming up soon. And check that promo code Switch and Hedge for half off the first month of any Osmo.com Osmo Plus membership. Those are available for you with all the ownership projections, the rankings, the regular projections. You can just plug right into Fantasy Cruncher, the deep dive column every day, the top stacks tool, the lineup builder. There's a lot of new features we're adding every single day to make that membership more worth the money. So go check it out for half off your first month with the promo code Switch and Hedge. I'll be back later today on Live Before Locks. So subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when we go live. Go follow me on Twitter and Instagram @ChrisSpags. Followers give me value, give me life every day. So please go do that. And I will see you guys again tomorrow for another Four Corners video. So good luck.